The following Dungeons & Dragons Actual Play podcast is based on real events from the history of American crime. Some of this imagery might be upsetting. Listener discretion is advised.
Infinite power, infinite power, infinite power, infinite power, infinite power. Infinite power.
Alright, so, do you guys remember where we left off last time? I know that there was a lot of shenanigans and goings-on happening, so what do you remember?
Somebody fumbled a bracelet, that's all I remember.
Okay.
Yes, I believe it ended with me trying to hand off a holy symbol item from our friend. What the heck did we call him?
His name's Paul.
That's right, Paul. I tried to pass off Paul's holy symbol bracelet thingy, and it fell on the floor, and then I ended with kicking it under the couch and saying, "What bracelet?"
That sounds about right.
Yep. And there was the whole thing with the ruby rats, and
right, the homies.
Yeah, your people, Jethro the guard, who
Tubbers.
was well, we renamed the Tubbers went through a rebranding. Yeah, to make it something that was easier to say, that wouldn't make me laugh every time I had to say it.
There's ruby rats.
Yeah. Ruby rats, yeah.
You laugh.
Hey, listen, you laugh at your name, and then that's how they get you.
Secret.
Yeah, so you, Aelos and Nim have this, who they suspect, have every reason to believe is a god who has lost his memory in a very decked out, pretty swanky house. Right? It's not an apartment. It's
That's more like a condo.
A condo.
It's bigger than a studio, but it's not.
Yeah.
Not too extravagant. This is my lore,
It has an upstairs.
That's right. It's got an upstairs. I forgot about that.
Correct. The loft.
The loft. Yup. Okay, so Aelos has just kicked the holy symbol of St. Cuthbert under the couch. What happens now?
I believe Paul had said, like, what's or that's mine?
I think he is pretty aware, or maybe pretty suspicious that you guys are trying to hide something from him.
That medallion. Right. That is yours. I found it. And I meant to get back to you, but then I forgot it was in my pocket, and it fell out as I was checking for something else.
That's exactly what happened.
Make a persuasion, diplomacy,
or deception, or
How
diplomacy?
That might be a 3.5 thing. I still get my additions confused sometimes.
I got a 20 that is unnatural.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Unnatural. Yeah, I don't know which is
17 plus 3 for my deception check. So.
Dirty 20 or unnatural 20 is both just kind of weird to say. The church elders would be very upset. That is an unnatural 20.
Oh. It's a godly 20.
The godly 20. Oh, wow. Okay, so at any rate, he is totally convinced. Like, he buys this. He's like, okay, accidents happen.
I lie to you, Paul. You're my friend.
No, you've been so helpful to me so far. I have no reason. Of course not. I mean, you guys helped me out of that commotion that was happening in the bar. You've told me so much about myself. You reminded me that I love alcohol. So
much. Have some more of that.
So much alcohol. So much love.
So he reaches under the couch. Are you going to stop him from picking it up?
I guess not. I'll find some other way to pay Nim.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll let him pick it up.
All right. He picks it up and he considers it for a moment, and he has this kind of like faint look of recognition for a second, and he says, I mean, obviously I have seen this somewhere before because, as you've told me, this is my possession, but this seems like it is particularly important to me, but I can't quite place it. It's sort of like, you ever have that experience where you're trying to think of a word and it's right on the tip of your tongue? Like, this memory is right there, and I know that this is really important to me, but I'm not sure why exactly. So, thank you for returning it to me, I guess.
You're welcome.
You're welcome? Yes. Yeah. I'm not, but you're welcome.
Okay. He says, I need to get this memory back. I need to find some way to restore my memory. There was something about a business, wasn't there? You had told me that I worked for a bank.
Dirty pawn shop. You were going to go shut them down.
Right. That's right. Thank you. So
I know just the one.
There's no time like the present.
None.
No time like the present. With my new friends. Possibly there's a way for you to earn some coin out of this. I don't know. Because I don't know about my income stream. He doesn't say that part. Only funny to me. So he makes a move to leave the house. And
Paul, can you just hold on 1 second? Just gonna follow me here. Just gonna move you over to this little corner by the door. If you could face the corner, we appreciate it. If not, it's fine. But if you could just trust me for 1 second.
He goes and stands in the corner, but he's not facing the corner. I don't understand why this is necessary, he says.
Well, I just wanted to make sure you were checking out the structure of this house. Make sure it was fine. I trust you. That's fine. That's great. Me. So I want to talk kind of quick with Aelos about something, and I'll be right back.
He starts doing that old man thing where he's like knocking on the wall looking for the studs.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a load-bearing wall or not, but Aelos, what pawn shop are you talking about?
It's the one that I might owe some money to.
I like your style. Okay. All right. I mean, are we gonna get in trouble? Like, I haven't seen enough action today.
Not if Paul burns it to the ground.
I mean, that's right. Okay,
I mean, what's mild destruction in the Undercity here? I mean, it's pretty normal.
Hey, man. For some odd reason, I trust you on this one, but I'm gonna have to take the lead on this. That's all I'm saying. Got you, but you will take the lead on this, all right?
That is amenable.
He burns it to the ground.
Okay, let's not tell him to burn it to the ground. Like, actually say those words. Guessed it, maybe, but don't use those
Too
words.
literal.
Too
I'm pretty
literal.
sure Nicole didn't get this.
Isn't Saint Cuthbert like righteous fury?
Yeah.
Listen, I know saints' names. I really don't know what they do half the time, alright?
What kind of monk are you?
Don't you ever question my piety. Nim turns around. Goes back to Paul. Paul, our friend Aelos here will lead us to our destination.
He,
What time is it now?
let me think.
In
So,
Backfire?
In Vincent, it's probably 5 p.m.
yeah, I think the bar fight started kind of in the middle of the afternoon,
Okay.
but you guys had been drinking for a while already.
Oh, it's definitely so happy hour's over.
Yeah,
Probably like 7, 8.
yeah. I think you definitely missed happy hour, but I don't know. Places down here might keep strange hours. You know.
It's like I have like Applebee happy hours.
My mind is like trying to think about like what really disgusting appetizers that they would have instead of like bottomless potato skins. Like, I don't know, something gross.
We'll work on that. We'll work on it.
Yeah. I'm reading up on St. Cuthbert. So, okay, so you guys, Aelos takes the lead, and you guys go off to this pawn shop within walking distance, the equivalent of a few city blocks away. What's the name of this pawn shop?
Sam's Gold Buy and Pawn.
Sam's Gold Buy and Pawn. Rolls right off the tongue.
Like, how big is the sign?
Sam's
Oh,
Gold.
just straight across.
Sam's Gold Buy and Pawn. I like it. It works.
Damn.
Okay, so the three of you get to Sam's Gold Buy and Pawn, and it's, you know, the pawn shop. Nothing really remarkable about it. You open the door, a little bell jingles at the top.
Before we go in,
Uh-huh.
I'd like to try and tell Paul, like, look, this guy was trying to, like, pull one over on my mom, and he gave her, like, next to nothing for her most valuable possessions, and I'm really just trying to get it back. And they also happen to be, you know, not paying their mortgage. So it's two birds, one stone.
Nim looks confused until he hears that last part about the mortgage. He's like, oh, he's not talking about me.
Paul looks at him, at Aelos, and says, I'm so sorry to hear about your mother. What did she give them? What did she sell to this merchant?
It was a statue that you wouldn't think would be worth a whole lot of money, but it had a lot of sentimental value, and also maybe was worth like 50 gold, and he gave her 2. And she really needed the money, so she took it.
What kind of son are you?
Yeah, he's thinking the same thing. Yeah, and again he says, your poor mother, what has befallen her that has put her in such dire financial straits?
She does drugs.
Flabbergasted over here. Nim's just like, what's going on? I thought my life was pretty messed up.
And this is just the lie spinning further and further.
Yeah. So he's trying to take this all in. that you allowed your mother, or that your mother found herself in these circumstances where she sold this treasured family heirloom, this statue that wasn't really worth a lot, but was actually worth something, and she sold it to buy drugs.
Now Nim's starting to ask questions. Like, wait a minute. What do you mean? What is your mom doing down here?
He kind of puffs out his chest a little bit, and he says, well, I don't know that 2 wrongs make a right, but clearly this Sam person saw a woman in need and took advantage of her.
I told her not to sell it, but she needed the hit.
So after this, I think we should visit your mother and try to get her into some sort of outpatient, some sort of, you know, they do wonders these days for rehabilitation.
She sounds like she could use a good healing.
I mean,
Yes.
backfire's kind of grim. Sometimes you just gotta chase that dragon.
Yeah, that's kind of a mixture of righteous indignation and like a lot of confusion about the story that has just been dropped on his lap. You go in, the little jingle bell jingles as you go in, and there is Sam, the proprietor of Sam's Gold Buy and Pawn.
Now, what is Sam?
Sam is elderly. I feel like Sam has to be short for Samantha, and she is what makes the most sense here. She is an old dwarf. Silver beard, hair pulled back into a kind of a loose bun.
Is her beard braided too?
Oh yeah, yep. Her beard is braided. Fairly elegant for what Backfire can offer. Although I mean, she is a pawnbroker. She's got an eye patch, but like a dignified.
Nice iPad. I'm like, why does she have the iPad? I'm like, what is she doing?
iPad, yep. There's terrible Wi-Fi down there, but she has it as a status symbol.
Damn Backfire.
And she's behind a counter, and just like real pawn shops, there is a wall. There's a barrier between her and the customers. Maybe some bars because they wouldn't have like bulletproof glass or anything like that. So she sees you come in, and she says, "Hail, and welcome to Sam's. What can I do for you? Buying or selling today?"
This gentleman, and I point at Paul, has some business with you.
So she looks at Paul and again says, "Buying or selling?" Paul says, "My friend here has informed me that you recently purchased a statue from an older woman for 2 gold, much less than it was appraised at." And she stands there and she has no recollection of this. She's kind of like looking around the shop and she's like, "Statues? I'm not. We don't really get a lot of statues down here. Like, are you sure?" And Paul says, "I have no reason, madam, to doubt the word of my friend here."
As Paul says that, Nim just starts like backing up a little bit. So he's like behind Aelos, and he's like, "Uh-oh."
So you said that Aelos owes her money, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
she might recognize me.
Yeah. So she gives you a hard look, and what would Aelos owe her money about? I wonder. Like, is he a gambler or?
Yeah, gambling will work. Maybe she runs the equivalent of an illegal poker game out the back.
Yeah.
She's a little deep into it.
Okay, yeah, backroom poker game. So Paul starts like pontificating about how he just wants to do the right thing today. He just wants to purchase this statue back, to return it to Aelos' mother. They're willing to pay triple what Sam paid for it the first time. Kind of implicitly throwing you guys under the bus a little bit there too, since
Quadruple the price.
he doesn't have any gold on him. And Sam gives Aelos a hard look, and she's like, what is this? What are you talking about? I never, your mom's not even alive. What are you talking about?
You, ma'am, are a liar. That, I will not take an affront to my honor.
I'm just trying, literally, Dev's in the back, just trying not to like crack up. He's just like, this is classic. This is deeper than I get.
So, Dan, if you could make either a performance or persuasion check here, try to keep up this act, or I guess deception too would work.
Well, persuasion and deception are the same for me.
Okay.
That's a natural 20, so that's a 23.
Okay.
Trademark's hard to change it.
A godly 20.
A pious one.
Yeah. Paul hears this accusation from Sam that your mother is dead and that this is like, what are you doing? And he spins around and snaps his head back at her, and he says, "Stop trying to change the subject. We just are here to purchase this statue. Oh, come on now, woman. Make haste. Return the statue to this suffering young man. We have to get out of here so we can tend to his poor drug-addled mother, who, because of you, is suffering somewhere down here. And I'm not even sure where. You should be ashamed of yourself." And he starts like jabbing a finger at her. Preying on these people down here.
How could someone be so wicked to find people down here? I'm upset now. I'm upset. How could you play and tug on the heartstrings of the poor people down here? Only a madman would try to do something like that. Awful. I am offended right now. Sam, Samantha.
She takes a step back from the bars, and she says, "I don't know what you're trying to pull here, Aelos, but I don't got your statue. I never saw your mother. I don't know who this guy is, but I need you to get out of my store." And she reaches under the counter, and she pulls out a crossbow.
Oh, man.
This doesn't need to get violent. You just give us the money back, and everything is there.
Can I make a perception check on the shop?
Yeah.
I'm looking for any religious artifacts that she may have in
Okay.
the shop. Dice, don't fail me now. Don't fail me now.
Come on, fail him. Fail him.
It's a 14.
Yeah, there's some knickknacks, I guess. Like nothing of any real value. I mean, this is a pawn shop in the underneath. They're not dealing in, super valuable things. So
Well, it's more like, does she have anything that she's not selling? Anything visible, like maybe like behind the counter.
Of her own faith.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. I see where you're going with this. What is that god's name? Dumathoin. Yeah, she's wearing a she has a ring on her left ring finger that has the symbol of Dumathoin on it. I mean, there's no it's just like a simple like silver or maybe white gold ring, but there is the symbol of Dumathoin etched into it.
How do we think Nim would? You think Nim would know Dumathoin?
I mean that you're playing him as this huckster, so I don't know.
Because I'm reading on him right now. I'm thinking who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like he's like a legit.
I think
he's an intermediate deity.
But St. Cuthbert is too, and I think that if they recognized who St. Cuthbert is, then he would know. Yeah, I think that where we'll because he is level 1, and we don't want him to have like a completely encyclopedic knowledge of every god that ever was and ever will be.
Of course.
I think he's going to have like a good breadth of knowledge, but not a lot of depth.
Yeah, wait till level 20.
and ascends and becomes Loki.
Yeah, that's my goal in life. So Nim sees, sees the symbol of Dumathoin. Like I said, a vague knowing of. You swear upon the honor of great Dumathoin, Sam, that you don't know what's going on here.
She looks down on her ring, and she's like, "I absolutely swear on the honor of Dumathoin that I have no clue. This man man, and she looks at Aelos, owes me
Dare you?
20 gold because he sucks at cards. That's all that this is. And I don't know where the two of you found this old timer and what you think you're going to accomplish by bringing in this sad old man.
Who are you calling old?
Him! And she points at Paul. And like he kind of looks down at his hands and like his arms. Like, I am quite old. I don't see how that's material.
No, listener, you are in your prime.
Your prime. After this, you guys are going to convince Paul that he can dunk a basketball. Let's go to the playground. Challenge those older kids to a game of 21.
Playing a horse.
Roll to shoot the J. So she still has this crossbow drawn on you guys. So you're kind of in this standoff. And as this is happening, the bell jingles again.
Nim ducks. Instinctively for no reason.
Well, I mean, there's not much to duck behind. So are you gonna?
He just heard the bell ring and he assumed that the crossbow was just like for some dumb reason in his head. Like she shot the crossbow, so he just
and hit the bell.
Yeah. He's like, am I that drunk that my reaction time is that slow?
Which would be pretty cool. But coming in behind you guys is this. He's a human, but he's a pretty big guy. He comes in. He's got this big battle axe across his back. And he's carrying with him an armful of animal pelts. They look like they're probably some sort of wolves or maybe like raccoons or something like that. And he ignores the three of you. He doesn't even seem to notice that the crossbow is out. And he just plows right in, thumps them down on the counter in front of Sam. And he says to her, "How much?" And she doesn't say anything. She just like is looking at him, and then she's looking at you guys to see what you're gonna do.
She's probably only going to give you 2 gold because according that's all she knows how to give. Oh man, indignant for no reason.
He says 2 gold would be great. Pay me. he shoves it under, or tries to like mash them through the slot. And she's like, "This isn't worth." And what is happening right now? And she looks at Aelos, and Aelos isn't backing down, and so she says to the big guy, I'll give you 4 gold if you get rid of these 3 clowns. How about that?" And the guy's like, "All right." And he turns around to face you, and he pulls out his axe. So we are rolling initiative.
Oh no. Oh, +4 initiative. You can just imagine what I rolled in that laugh. That's a natural 1. With my 4, so it's 5.
Alright, so Nim is last. This guy got there. What about Aelos?
18.
Okay, that's the first. Paul got a 13. And just in case I have to have her in there somewhere, Sam is in. Okay, so Aelos is up first. Hi again, everybody. This is Dr. Andy Wilczak. I wanted to say thanks again for taking time to listen to the show. We really appreciate it. The reason why I wanted to make Strength Check into an Actual Play D&D podcast, when there are so many other Actual Play shows out there that are probably way better than anything that I could do, is I want to draw your attention to a project that I'm a part of here in northeastern Pennsylvania. We're calling it Play for Progress, and the idea is to use D&D and eventually, hopefully, probably other tabletop games to help middle school and high school kids who are struggling with mental health problems or addiction issues, or who feel alienated or isolated in some way. This part of Pennsylvania has been hit really, really hard by the opioid crisis. This part of Pennsylvania has a very high alcoholism rate, and this part of Pennsylvania is diversifying very quickly, and there are those who have capitalized on that to try to create more conflict between people. So we have a lot of kids here who are alone and who are suffering, and suffering mightily. So what we're doing, and the point of this message now, is to just let you know that we are raising money to make Play for Progress a sustainable force for good in the northeastern Pennsylvania area. If you have even $5 to spare for us, you can go to GoFundMe.com/playforprogress with hyphens between the words, so play-for-progress. And anything that you can give us will go a long way towards making us sustainable. Thank you.